What's good, fam? I want to get straight into building a sample with Reason stock sounds, Reason 11 stock sounds. And some of the synths in here are the old model, like the Subtractor, the Maelstrom. Using these sounds to build a sample, and just I wanted to challenge myself, but also show you all it can be done, you know, just using creativity and working with space and textures. So I'm gonna play it how it is, and then I'm gonna break it apart and show you how I built it. The main sound is this bio unit O2B sound on the Maelstrom grain table synth. I didn't change much about it. If I did, it was probably slight filtering. So I'm gonna play that. Now what I did with this is I played with the pitch. I dropped the pitch. I changed the semitone pitch bend range to 12, so I could drop it down an octave about 2 bars in. See, it drops down. That's to give it some movement. The sound playing straight through can get boring. It's a short loop, but I wanted to keep it interesting, so I dropped it down a pitch. I dropped it down 12 semitones. So I dropped it down an octave just to give it that movement. The next sound is this bass guitar on the Subtractor polyphonic synth. I didn't change much about it. All right, the next sound is this echo sound. This is the Maelstrom again, grain table synth. This sound is just something to give it some more texture. Now what I did with this sound is I panned it, what is this, about 30% to the left to give it space. I stack my samples layer by layer, and I want to be able to have a nice mono mix. And then I worry about space in the end, and then I play with movement. With this particular sound, like I said, I did about 30% to the left just to add some texture. Kind of like a bell type sound. It also has some ambient release or ambient tail to it as well. The main sound has that same tail, and this echo sound has a tail as well. The next sound is this Bill Withers gospel piano. The root note is C, C, G, and then another C to build the chord hit. Then later on you have the same chord hit, and then C sharp on both octaves hitting at the same time around about the 7th bar, the start of the 7th bar. Let's play them all together. The piano is panned roughly 32% to the right to give it that space, because remember the echo ambient sound is panned around about the same percentage to the left, so I want to give it some space playing with the panning. All right, the next set of sounds is the circle bells from the Clang rack. Now this is just what you would call ear candy to add on this last bar. So I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna solo that. Play it. See, just like a nice little glide into the next phrase. The last sound is the grand piano from the Pangea rack, and I'm gonna play that solo. And it's basically just a bend of the sound. And what I did was I adjusted the attack on it so it can swing into the main phrase but not be overbearing with a hard attack. So I'm gonna play it all together. I did a pitch bend automation on it so it can slowly attack and go up an octave into this phrase. So I'm gonna play it again. What I did with that was adjusted the delay and added reverb on it. So that's pretty much the sample as a whole. And then to get that texture, I played with the scream, added scream to it, the Audiomatic. And this doesn't come stock, the loudness meter, but I strongly suggest using it because you can check your peaks and loudness, your RMS, your total volume in real time. So you can, when you go to master it or get it to a nice mix level and look for a certain amount of headroom, then this loudness meter comes into play. But as far as the Audiomatic, I automated the transform knob and the dry wet knob because I wanted it to breathe and move. Movement is key when you're using sounds, period, whether I'm using analog or digital. I love movement because real players, real emotion has movement. So I'm gonna play it and show you how the automation is just moving back and forth with the transform and the dry wet knob. See, that subtle change is giving it some life, some breath. Now with the scream, I dropped in a line level mixer, and you can also do this through the SSL board, doing sends and returns. But I use this line mixer to do a send and return to the scream because I wanted it to be automated as well. I automated the aux return knob because I didn't want this scream effect, which is really a tube emulation of a tube circuit. I didn't want it playing straight through. I wanted that to breathe as well and put an automation on the aux return. So I'm gonna play that as well. I just bypassed the Audiomatic and I'm gonna play that as well so you can hear it. It's very, very subtle, but it all adds up to a texture in the end. Now the last step is playing with the pitch, and what I wanted to do was emulate the like that wow and flutter type effect, but really just focusing on the pitch aspect of it, of a tape machine variation. And I wanted to do it strictly using Reason. So what I did was I exported everything and brought it back in an NXT rack, played it through, and then automated the pitch with slight knob twist. So the end comes out to this bounce form. I bounced it because every time I play it, I don't want to have to start from the beginning like a one-hit sample trigger. So I'm gonna play that with the master effects that I just showed you, the Audiomatic, the scream and everything on it. And now you can hear the variation and subtle nuances to make it a more interesting loop. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to show you how you can get an interesting sample using stock sounds within Reason or within whatever DAW you have. Just keep it interesting. Play with depth, space, and experiment. So that's it. Wanted to keep this video pretty short. The next video I may flip the sample and show you how it can end up something from a basic loop, how that can turn into a beat as well. So if you're feeling this, like, share, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned, stay locked. Yeah.